everyone, I'm Noreen and welcome to my kitchen and another episode of What's for Dinner. Today we're going to be bringing you a double sheet pan dinner that includes the balsamic marinated chicken that we did as a freezer marinade not too long ago with our Zaycon order, and we're going to pair that with some roasted vegetables and some roasted potatoes, and this is going to knock it out of the park for your Sunday dinner. So let's go see how this all comes together. I'm going to go over all of the ingredients for our balsamic chicken sheet pan dinner with vegetables, and this is using one of the freezer marinated packs of chicken that we did when we got our Zaycon chicken breast order. And if you want to see how I did that, I'll leave a link down below and also an iCard above in the upper right hand corner for you, and you can go check that out. This is nothing more than some Zaycon chicken that when I got it home, I processed it. I usually use 3 chicken breasts per meal for us because they're very large chicken breasts, and I usually fillet them, which means I cut them in half horizontally and then I cut them in half again. And then I put a bottle of Italian balsamic vinaigrette dressing in the bag with it, and I threw it in the freezer. So as it's freezing, it's going to marinate, and then when I thaw it out like I did today, we're just going to throw it on the sheet pan and we're going to cook it along with some of these other things. I'm actually doing a double sheet pan today because I know I won't have enough room on one sheet pan for everything. We love a lot of roasted vegetables, so we're going to do the potatoes and the chicken on one sheet pan. So I have 3 very large, these are 3 jumbo russet potatoes. I always buy the jumbo russets because I like them for baking potatoes, and I slice them about an ½ inch thick, yeah. And so we're gonna just go ahead and dress these with a little olive oil and salt and pepper, and we're gonna get those on a sheet pan. But then I'm gonna take all of these things and I'm gonna mix them together with some olive oil, balsamic vinegar, Italian seasoning, and salt, and then we're gonna bake those off all together, and it's gonna be lovely. I actually have 1.5 pounds of cremini mushrooms that I quartered. I have a 8-ounce container of grape tomatoes and the remaining container of these heirloom mixed baby tomatoes that we got at Sam's Club. So it's about half of this container plus another. So it's, if you were going to use a whole one, that would be perfect. My girls eat these heirloom tomatoes like candy, so we like to have those on hand. And then I have 2 zucchini squash and 2 yellow squash that I just sliced in 4 pieces, cut the tops and bottoms off, and then cut them in half so we have like sticks, like you get when you go to the Japanese restaurant. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start prepping all of this stuff. So first I want to prep my potatoes. I'm gonna go ahead and use some, this is extra virgin olive oil. You can choose to use whatever you want. You want to use safflower, sunflower, canola, whatever is your preference. But I'm gonna go ahead and get in here, mix it all up so that the oil gets on every slice, both sides. And then I'm just gonna lay these slices right out here. I'm gonna need a 3 sheet pan dinner is what I'm gonna need. I'm actually gonna double stack these, and then we're gonna go ahead and turn them as they bake, so it's not gonna be a big deal, because I still need to fit my chicken on here. I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle this with salt, and then as I flip these, we'll go ahead and we'll salt them again. And we'll just place our chicken right on this baking sheet. And now this marinade has done its job. Don't use this for anything else. You're going to want to discard that so that you can avoid cross-contamination. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in the oven right now, and then we'll be prepping the other sheet pan. Alright, now we're going to prep our veggies. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, and Rick's going to tell me I need a bigger bowl because I want to put the tomatoes in there too. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to drizzle. I'll put the tomatoes on the pan when we put all this on the pan. I'm going to drizzle this with olive oil and balsamic. And you can see I'm not using measurements today. This is just kind of a chop and drop kind of deal. You're going to do this to your taste, but I'm going to say you want to use a good 1/4 cup of olive oil and at least a couple of tablespoons of balsamic. Let's just give this a bit of a toss with a big spoon. You can also put this in a big plastic bag and you can coat it with the oil and get everything ready that way. I am just going to go ahead and spread this out, and I'm just gonna pop these tomatoes right on in there. Some of them are cut because they were enormous. I'm not gonna cover this. I'm just gonna go ahead and slow roast these. These are gonna go in for at least 30 minutes, which should be enough. That's perfect. I'm gonna hit this with a little more Italian seasoning and some salt. I'm gonna pop this in the oven along with the chicken and potatoes, and I'll be back when these are finished. I'm gonna say between 30 and 45 minutes depending, and I'll let you know how long it took when we pull them out of the oven. And there you have it, a beautiful balsamic chicken with roasted vegetables and potatoes. I will say that I cooked the chicken until it was done, and then I removed it from the oven, and then I spread those potatoes out on the pan for an extra 10 minutes or so just to get them nice and browned. And you can see that that worked out really well. So I know that Rick is ready to taste this, and I already actually broke off a little piece here. The vegetables did not cook as long as the potatoes did, but everything came out in about 45 minutes. So let's get you a mushroom, a piece of chicken. How is that? Is that good?
It's delicious.
Is it? Oh, that is good. That's super nice.
It is.
For those of you who think that freezer marinades might not work, they really do. That chicken is permeated with flavor. That's really delicious. I did want to tell you too, if you want to execute this as a sheet pan dinner like on a weeknight, and you don't have this balsamic chicken like freezer marinade going on, don't worry. Just take your chicken, throw it in a Ziploc bag with your favorite Italian dressing, or some oil and some balsamic vinegar and a little spices like Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. Maybe a squeeze of lemon juice would be great. Then you can marinate that for like 15 minutes before you throw it in the oven, because chicken really doesn't need that long to marinate. And if you're in a hurry and you cut your chicken thin enough, it's all gonna come out great. So that's an option for you. Freezer marinades work great. I love being able to just reach into my freezer and thaw it out when I want to use it, whether I throw it in the crock pot or I throw it, you know, in the fridge to thaw out and then roast it in the oven or pan sear it or something. We always have something delicious that's ready to go. And why pay the grocery store extra money to marinate something when you can do it yourself super cheap? That's how you make a delicious double sheet pan balsamic chicken dinner with roasted tomatoes, zucchini, and squash, and some roasted potatoes that I think look awesome. I hope this inspires you. I hope this gives you another way that you can make chicken for a quick meal on a weeknight or any other time. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you did enjoy the video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you're not already, please hit that subscribe button. If you are a subscriber, as I know many of you are, please hit that bell button so you don't miss any of the notifications, because we don't want you to miss out on any of the real food for real people, real easy recipes that we present all the time right here on our YouTube channel and straight from our kitchen. I hope you give this a try, and I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.